Live from the Washington, D.C. area, it's the Inside Scoop, Emerald Planet. All the ecology news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's your host, Executive Director of the Emerald Planet, Dr. Sam Lee Hancock.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, technologies, services, and products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And we have one of our very good friends who's back with us again, but we're talking this time about air pollution and the control of it in China, collaborating with the United States and the European Union. This is Dr. Peng He, who is the president of the International Fund for China's Environment, IFCE. He's right here in the studio with me. And also, we're going to have a special introduction. This was provided through Dr. He himself by Kelvin Zhang, who is a digital artist, videographer, and also a photographer. And we have a very special video that we want to share with you that we can bring to you about the whole notion of air pollution and where we're going as we move through the 21st century. And we're waiting for that to queue up. Dr. He, tell us a little bit about the IFCE.
Well, IFCE has been here for a while. We're just talking about this year will be our 20 years anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's basically the platform, bring U.S. and China on the environmental issues, energy issues, and climate issues.
Now, looking at the IFCE, and then we're going to go to the video in just a minute, it's something very special because you really are a pioneer as far as the work on the environment in China. Tell us a little bit about that pioneering spirit that you have.
Is during the 90s, most of us initial founding members originally came from China, so we go back and forth to Beijing and Shanghai. We noticed the heavy, actually also heavy smog at that time as well, also heavy water pollution on the rivers. So we think this is not going to be sustainable. That's those 90s. So we think we need to do something to help. But most of us have a full-time job and are unable to go back to China as a full-time, move the whole family to China. So we set up this foundation. Say we want to bring people together, bring our knowledges and technologies to try to help one or another. So we initially organized a delegation, technical delegation to China. Then give a lecture, some more demo technologies. So we think through this way we can transfer some technologies and knowledge, technologies and skill and methods to China to help mitigate the heavy pollution.
That's fantastic. Let's bring up this, it's called Under the Mask. Very interesting. This is by one of the young people that are coming along with your organization. This Kelvin Zhang, digital artist, photographer, and videographer. And tell us a little bit about going beyond the pioneering aspects of that. You're now really focused on the air pollution throughout China, particularly in the urban areas, but it's something that's really covering all of China. And so looking at the positive aspects of this, how is IFCE helping to address some of these issues?
We have been focused on the air pollution for the last few years, especially after this heavy smog broke out in Beijing area, so caught worldwide attention. So we think what we can do to help, and first of all is we watching the issue very closely, see how government responds. Then we saw the government launch a very tough, very strict regulations, national plan for air pollution control in 2013. Mm-hmm. Then they have set a specific target for next 3 years, 2014 to 2017. Then we also watched the new air pollution control law launched last year. Also, robust environmental law was implemented this year. So we see government is very, very seriously, and also the public attention is amazing. There's a film early last year. There's talking about air pollution. It's produced by a former CCTV report, Ms. Cai Jin. That film was hit, and within 1 week, 30 million people hit it online. So that's
30 million people in 1 week.
1 week.
That is incredible.
That's a specific focus on air pollution. So that shows how strong public interest in this. Almost every social media and all this kind of local talk about PM 2.5. What's the PM 2.5 today or last week? So something like that.
Now, what is 2.5 PM?
It's a particle matter of the diameter is smaller than 2.5 micron. It's very tiny pollutants.
Mm-hmm. But it gets into the lungs, it gets in the esophagus, it just fills the whole body, correct?
Right. That's the main pollutants in the smog for these smog days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking at that, I know that you've had the number of different forums. You call them forums, or like conferences, where you have experts from China, the United States, and even other places around the globe. What are some of the main ideas that are being shared during these forums, both the ones that you have in China and also the ones that you have in the United States?
Last Friday we had a first global forum on urban air pollution control in China. It's held in DC here. We bring more than 100 people from China, US, and Europe. And the main purpose of this kind of forum is to share the experience we had in US, Europe, and other places. And the air pollution is not a new issue. It's been dealt with this for the last 40 to 50 years. So there's a lot of experience, a lot of regulation, policies, law has been implemented, and experience accumulated, and lesson being learned. So this can be shared through this kind of platform with Chinese counterparts. So we'll make Chinese efforts more effective, and also it's an opportunity for technologies, because there's huge market in air pollution control in China. Will be in the next 5 years. Talking about $50 billion going to invest in this air pollution control area. So that's an opportunity for.
That's $1 billion US.
$50 billion US for air pollution control only. So that's be for mature technology or innovative companies get into the market. So it'll be win-win situation if those can take this opportunity, get into China market. And one side can help China's environmental pollution control. Next one also can help the business in the Western country to continue development.
Now, looking at China, we kind of think of China as a monolith. You've got the central committee, the central government, mm-hmm. but yet you have very strong municipal governments as well as provincial governments, and they are all expected to be very much in alignment, but also to respond to this, because the citizens, as you know, just like in the United States, we all live in local communities, mm-hmm. no matter how big the country is. And China's huge, the United States is huge. Mm-hmm. So what are you seeing as far as the local and provincial governments, as far as their response to air pollution, and how are they trying to address that? Some maybe best practices that you're actually seeing through the IFCE.
Local response is also very strong, especially to air pollution, because they are set a specific target, for between 2014 and 2017. Like in Beijing area is 20% improvement is required. In Shanghai area is 15%, and then in Guangzhou area is also a certainly specific target to work with.
So each locality then has targets based on, I guess, the population base and then their contributions to the air pollution?
Right, there are also local conditions.
I see.
In Shenzhen, Guangzhou area, air pollution is not that serious, that bad. And it's serious, it's not bad.
Right.
So, but they still still have a target. So they working on their way, and then use some local special policies to reduce emissions. Some are, like Beijing area is more coal burning cost air pollution. Like in Shenzhen area is more vehicle cost pollution. So focus on more vehicles, increase fuel standards and tighter enforcement. So those kind of measures working in localities. So each province, each city have different actions, but they're all towards identify the key problem, then target on it.
So this is similar to the United States, where you have, in a sense, broad national policies, but then each state, each city then can set its own priorities as far as the actual conditions then.
Right. Each province will have their own province air pollution control plan.
Mm-hmm. Looking at, and we're almost running out of time, what are some of the opportunities, this will be next to the last question, the opportunities for U.S. firms in China, and then what do you see for the growth and further expansion of IFCE's efforts over the next 5, 10, 15 years? And we got about 1 minute to do all that.
Well, we have a lot of opportunities in the environmental monitoring and those pollution removal devices, because China is talking about the actual clean power plant, clean power productions. So it's a bit further than US. Now US talking about a clean power plant. Now China talking about actual clean power plant. So so
there's a friendly competition going on right now.
Right. Maybe at least the same standards as the US, even higher standard than US. So there'll be a lot of equipment updates and technologies, applications. So those definitely will be.
What do you see for the growth of IFCE? Got to be quick.
IFCE, we set up a green technology promotion center this year. So we a lot of focus on, besides the policies, capacity building, we also focus on the green technologies, more best practice to China, help U.S. companies to China.
This is Dr. Peng He as we look around the globe to create the Emerald Planet.
I helped turn my child's public school into a whole new kind of school. One with a curriculum that really motivates kids. One that has extended hours, 6 days a week, year-round. With loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. One that has support services like medical and dental right there. A school where parents' involvement is encouraged. Where teachers have more time to teach. And students are excited about learning. There's just one problem. My child doesn't ever want to come home. You can help turn your school into a community school for excellence. Find out how. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
It's coming. Right to your neighborhood. And when it does, you may be surprised. It's your Social Security statement of your benefits, and it's going to help you plan your financial future. Your benefit statement will tell you how much Social Security you're eligible to receive and when you'll get it. Then you'll know how much you need to save for retirement, because that's coming too. The future is in your hands. Choose to save.
The toxic fumes from this meth lab are seeping into Jamie's sinus cavity. Ammonia vapors invade her throat. Toxic gases fill her lungs. Jamie's body is deteriorating. And she doesn't even know it.
Jamie, dinner.
So, who has the drug problem now? Find out how meth affects you at drugfree.org/.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello, welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you on a week-to-week basis. We search for those 1,000 best practices, technology, services, products, and of course the people that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And we're looking at adding 2 billion new people to the planet by 2050. And at the same time, because of COP21 through the United Nations agreement, to actually enhance and improve the globe environment. And we have a gentleman who's very much involved in this, coming all the way from China. It's Hongxing, who is the director for the Secretariat for Clean Air Alliance of China, CAAC, and Innovation for Clean Air Solutions, ICCS. Welcome to the Emerald Planet TV.
Thank you, Sam.
Glad to have you with us. And I've heard you speak, so I know you do a very good job. You have a tremendous amount of information to share. But tell us a little bit about the CAAC and also the ICCS. Just set the stage for us, and then we'll start talking about specifics of your organizations.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Actually, CAAC is a think tank platform. And it was launched in January 2013, so we have already 3 years now. And ICCS is the running secretariat for CAAC. So we've been responsible for a lot of operational affairs, including establishing partnership, carry out research, and ICCS itself is also a think tank. So we do a lot of research. For the past 3 years, we have published 32 reports.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, when I was listening to you speak, I could tell there was a tremendous amount of information that you were sharing at that time. So looking at this as a think tank and a research center, why is that so important for China?
Yeah, you know, I think China is suffering from very severe air pollution, so everybody knows that. But we need to find solutions. To figure out what is the right solution, we need people to give suggestions for policymakers, for the business, and also for other stakeholders, how to engage them. So think tank is kind of playing that role, and that's what we are trying to do. So we actually do a lot of work regarding policy research, policy recommendations, capacity building, training, awareness raising, to link everybody together. Yeah.
Now, looking at United States, I know this is something that you're very much involved in, is this collaboration between China and the United States. And looking at your organizations, and then looking at this cross-specific, if you will, collaboration, what do you see as the I would say the emphasis, but really the main ways that China and the United States can collaborate to address air pollution, because it's something that has no boundaries. It travels around the whole globe based on, you know, the air currents and weather conditions. So how do you see that collaboration moving forward?
I think China and the US has been collaborating in this field for many, many years, and I think the success is building on, and the way has already been paved, and I see there a very brilliant future in this perspective. And not talking about air pollution, actually, when we do air pollution, we will also get co-benefits for climate change, because the air pollution are mainly caused due to the burning of fossil fuels, and it also causes the emission of greenhouse gas emissions. So they have the same root causes. You're gonna have very huge co-benefits. So a lot of air pollution work in China will bring co-benefits for the global warming solutions. Yes.
Yeah, this is something that I understand from your presentation, but also Dr. Ping He, who is the president of the International Fund for China's Environment, and other organizations have been talking about this for many years, that we need to look at this as an investment, not as a cost to society and to the citizens. What do you see as the investments, the positive side of all of this, which really is an underlying theme that China has taken? It's an investment, not just a cost.
Yes, actually we have done a kind of analysis, yes, like in the coming 5 years from 2013 to 2017, the research was carried out 2 years ago, and we have get positive feedback. So the overall investment will actually catalyze the growth of GDP in China. So its net increase is not only investment. And also I think in the process, there's gonna be very huge market to be created. And a lot of US companies, US clean tech providers, they're gonna have opportunities to come to China, to access to the market, and to make money.
Well, I tell you, that's a good sound, but many people look at it as, making money on the environment is almost a sacrilege. But at the same time, it's something that's very important, that we balance the economy as well as the environment. So through the research and the work that you're doing, Tonny, how do we balance that so that people see both benefits, not one as a detriment to the other?
Yes, I think actually the overall the U.S. experience that for the past 30 years, U.S. has already made both economic growth and also the improvement of environmental quality in air, in water, in all perspectives. So this is a good demonstration. It's not just compromise one side and build up the other side.
So it's not just theory. It's something that actually has been going on and proven over these last 30 to 40 years.
Yeah, and also even in China, some cities already made demonstration for that. Like in Shenzhen city. Shenzhen is the city who had already attained to China's current national air quality standards. So, and Shenzhen is aiming to reach to the level of European Union. So that's an ambitious goal. And in the process, Shenzhen has reached very good economic growth. So I do think there is a win-win outcome in the future.
That's fantastic. Now, this is something that you shared with me, and you mentioned in one of your speeches about this Blue Tech Award. And you're saying is that the U.S. firms that go through this process can be very helpful to them as far as expanding their collaboration, in and with China. What is this Blue Tech Award? How do people apply for that or are selected for that? And then how do you see this smoothing the way in collaboration?
Yes, as I mentioned that we had done a lot of work regarding policy research, policy making, and policy implementation. But we realized that a good policy can never be really implemented without the support, the involvement of technologies. And so for that purpose, we have launched this Blue Tech Award last year. So we want to call in good, actually we say the best available clean air technologies from all over the world to come to China to help with the pollution issues. And so every year we're gonna select different technology categories according to the needs from Chinese cities. So in this year, we're going to have VOC emission control. That's definitely need from the Jiangsu province, from Guangdong province, and even in Tianjin. And the diesel pollution control, diesel engine pollution control, this is a big issue, not just for the trucks, but also for the off-road equipment, ships, they emit a lot of pollutions. And also for indoor air quality monitoring and purification. This is also very important, directly linked to people's health.
Yeah, and this whole thing as the third category of the indoor air quality is something that's needed. So if the outside, becomes very dirty or harmful, then people can go back into their own living space and be reasonably sure that they're going to have good air quality in that space. So how do you reach out to U.S. and of course European and other nations, companies, to encourage them to be part of this Blue Tech award process?
Yeah, firstly, we need to make this award to be a very appealing thing. That we try to make a very systematic promotion for this award. Of course, we want to select the right technology, so the assessment process is not a simple process. We do verification of the technologies, which means we have to produce methodology. We have a group of experts to do literature, to do the documentary review, and also to do on-site visit, on-site audit, and laboratory test. So we combine all the assessment results to determine who's gonna win the award. So this is a very comprehensive process. And the winners will not only be promoted through our platform, so the media partners, and we're gonna create opportunities for them to demonstrate their technology in our pilot cities, provinces. They have 10 local pilots, so they all have different needs. As I mentioned, we design the categories in accordance to the needs. So there are gonna be a lot of matchmaking opportunities as well.
So looking at this as far as winning this award, this is something, as you're saying, is very important. And at the same time, it sounds like that the government is very eager to assist and participate with private companies that seem to have the best technologies and bring those into China. Is that a change in attitude, or is this a constant attitude, but now it's just becoming more active?
Yeah, I should say, because the air pollution is so urgent issues in China, I think the central government and also the public are paying great attention for these issues. Everybody wants a quick solution. And of course, we cannot have the solution without the involvement of technologies. So I think this kind of request actually bring the needs of technologies to the upfront. That's why we launched this Blue Tech Award.
That's fantastic. Well, we're almost run out of time.
Okay.
Thank you for being with us. But looking at the CAAC and the ICCS, what do you see for their growth and expansion, and yourself, over the next 5, 10, 15 years?
Yes.
We've got to be quick.
Okay. I think for CAAC, it's a think tank platform. It's actually kind of a new form of organizations in China. So we hope in future we're going to have more and more members joining us to share their power with us. But I also hope to see there are more and more organizations like ICCS to be established in China. The growth of think tanks. Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic. This is Hongxing, who is the director for the Secretariat for Clean Air Alliance of China and the innovation of clean air solutions. And thank you for being with us as we create the Emerald Planet.
I need a job.
Necesito trabajo.
I would like to speak English better.
Me gustaría hablar inglés mejor.
I want to be a U.S. citizen.
Quisiera ser ciudadano de los Estados Unidos.
For over 35 years,
Por más de 35 años,
the Hispanic Committee of Virginia has been serving our community.
el Comité Hispano de Virginia ha estado sirviendo a nuestra comunidad.
Job training and placement,
Capacitación, ayuda para conseguir trabajo,
education for children and adults,
educación para niños y adultos,
immigration, naturalization, and medical referrals.
ayuda para los procesos de inmigración y naturalización y orientación sobre médicos
Are a small part of what we do.
son solo una pequeña parte de lo que hacemos.
For help, information, or to volunteer,
Para ayuda, información o para ofrecerse como voluntario,
contact the Hispanic Committee of Virginia,
comuníquese con el Comité Hispano de Virginia,
helping everyone participate more fully in American society.
ayudando a todos a participar plenamente en la sociedad norteamericana.
Hey, Lena, where's yours?
Would you notice if you were missing half your kidney function? According to the National Kidney Foundation, 20 million people have chronic kidney disease, and 20 million more may be at risk and not even know it. Anyone with high blood pressure, diabetes, or family history of chronic kidney disease is at risk. Early diagnosis is vitally important. To get the whole story, talk to your doctor and visit the National Kidney Foundation at kidney.org or call for a free brochure. Because when it comes to chronic kidney disease, you might not know the half.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you on a weekly basis looking at 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, technologies, services, products, and of course the people are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And I have a very young friend who's joining me again from the country of China. He's been on the Emerald Planet before, and welcome back. This is Jianxin. He goes by Jason Wang. He is a Deputy Secretary General of, and I'm going to have to read through all this. This is a long title. China Energy Efficiency Investment and Assessment Committee of the China Energy Research Society. Whew. I hope they're paying you for the length of your title, Jason. But welcome back to the Emerald Planet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this organization, the CERS, and why is it so important? Because I know this is something that you've recently moved into, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Okay. China Energy Research Society is a non-governmental organization established in 1981. It has thousands of members. Most of them are scientists, professors, researchers, and consultants. What we do with this organization is we do research on energy-related subjects from clean fuel, clean energy, renewable energy, energy efficiency, and enterprise energy management, and energy-related investment policies.
Now, looking at this, I know this is something that's very important, and as you may know, I'm quite unique that I first was engaged with China in 1973, which is a long time ago.
Yes.
And the reason for that, I was in Australia, and it gave me an opportunity that I would have not had probably within the United States. But we've seen over the years with the rapid economic growth and development of China, you know, it's done great as far as the world economy is concerned. And now it looks like that China is doing the very same thing as far as controlling, you know, pollution of all kinds and wanting to improve, you know, air, soil, water quality there. So how does this organization directly relate to those issues? And then we'll get into the kinds of technologies that I know China is really looking for to help move forward as we go through the 21st century.
Yes. Pollution has been a big concern, not only in one city, but all over China. In the beginning, people dealt with pollution from where it happens. But later on, people wanted to see how these pollutions occurred and where it first occurred. Mm-hmm. And it is found that a lot of pollutions happened when the energy was used, because China was abundant with coal. When Chinese people burned coal for manufacturing for their households, and they of course will have pollution. Therefore, energy efficiency, clean energy are direct solutions to air pollution, to soil pollution and dust, etc. Mm-hmm. So my colleagues and our people with the China Energy Research Society not only find technical solutions, they also offer advices to governments for public policy making, and also we conduct international exchange so that we can fetch experience from developed countries and to fight with the Chinese pollution and find a shortcut and got the success done.
Now, looking at this, your first statement really intrigued me about these thousands of members. You know, I'm a numbers guy, and I've always liked to hear, numbers. Tell us how many members that you have, and then how do they become involved with your organization, and what is the importance to have this kind of mix for what you're doing for China?
The largest organization of Chinese science and scientists is called China's Academy of Science and Technology. And our organization is actually the subcommittee of the energy field.
I see.
We play the role for all the researchers, scientists, devoting their time, energy to find out solutions for China's sustainable development. So the members could be volunteer. You volunteer to participate, and of course you pay certain dues. And we also welcome students to participate in Energy Research Society.
This sounds very comprehensive. Looking at it, what are some of the technical solutions that have been identified as far as emissions from coal-fired boilers, which is really critical as far as the air quality within the country?
Well, it has been found that the current air pollution in China, especially in the northern areas, is very much resulted from the burning of coal from boilers. And boilers, as you know, can be used by manufacturing facilities and also for space heating. The most efficient way to deal with the coal-fired boilers and the resulting pollution is to deal with the big problems, which is the thermal power plants. They have the biggest thermal power boilers. So the first solution is China is going to build and has been making a lot of efforts to improve the energy efficiency of clean use of coal, even though we cannot replace coal totally with the natural gas. So the second approach is to work on the energy efficiency improvements on industrial boilers. And the third way would be replacing the use of, or replacing the coal-fired boilers in the small-scale boilers with natural gas and other clean technologies such as electricity, heat pump, and also solar, wind power, etc.
It sounds like what you're trying to do, Jason, through the collaboration of the CERS is to look for very practical steps. And this is something you and I have talked about for a long time. You're the practical guy, and you want to have practical solutions to real issues. So looking at these boilers, we have what's called NOx, which I want you to define what that is, and then the ultra-low NOx, and you don't have to define low. As an inside joke. Okay. But looking at these replacements of these boilers, it sounds like that is a very practical way to get at this and have really a huge impact on the environment.
Well, these are very good questions. NOx stands for nitrogen oxides, and it is a harmful pollutant in the air resulting from boilers. Actually, when you use coal-fired boilers, the major pollutant from there is the dust and SOx, sulfur-related oxides. But when we replace coal-fired boilers with the natural gas boilers, sometimes there's a secondary pollution, which is from the NOx. And so Chinese government, like the United States, set up emission standards to control the NOx. And ultra NOx emission, usually in the United States, it means the density of NOx under 30 ppm per cubic meter, maybe per hour. And in the Chinese standards, it refers to 30 milligram per cubic meter. That means the density of NOx in the air from the flue gas.
Yeah. Looking at this, and we're going to go to the next question on this, but backing up on this, looking at setting these very specific targets. And again, this goes back to these practical steps, having major impact. How going through this process has been helpful as far as, because I know even though people think it may be a little strange, the air quality is improving across China, even Beijing and other major cities. How do these help to bring about this positive change?
Well, the standards are getting more and more stringent. It plays a very good role, such like the Clean Air Act in the United States. When you have a legislature involved, setting up the goals for emission reduction, and you have a target to catch, and you have a way to measure people's action, then if you fail to meet this target, you get punished. So the penalty, pushes people to take actions. So I think the Chinese people have been working very hard to meet more and more stringent emission reduction standards.
Yeah, when I've been there, and we've done, as you know, a number of television broadcasts from China, and as we talk to many people in the private business, they say as soon as we meet the standard changes, which is exactly what the government wants.
Correct.
And what the people of the society want. Looking at this, going over to heavy-duty diesel trucks and all that, tell us a little bit about this, the moving aspects. We've been talking about factories and plants and all that, but also you have clear targets as far as heavy equipment, both on-road and off-road. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. Plants, boilers are stationary source of pollutants for the air. And there are mobile sources, including private cars and also heavy-duty trucks. Each heavy-duty truck emits about 100 times more pollutants than the individual private car. So talking about this, Chinese, of course, promoting electric cars, and also they do a lot of things to fight on to improve the emission of heavy-duty engines. We have higher quality of fuel at the first place, and we're going to have more efficiency in new engines. On the other hand, all this would cost a lot of money. So there has to be something different. We need to find a new path to reduce emission from heavy-duty trucks, which is called rebuilding. You retrofit the engines of using fuel, replace them by using clean fuel, such as LNG. And several companies are working on this, and they have achieved initial success.
Yeah, and this is something I know that in the United States, I've heard that maybe as much as 50% of the old diesel engines are being refaced and done with this retrofit. And we're running out of time. Actually, we've run out of time. What do you see for the growth and development of the CERS over the next 5, 10, 15 years?
Well, CERS, as an academic organization, we're going to do more research on energy issues, especially on solutions to improve energy efficiency and to cut down the emission of pollutants, not only in the air, but also to protect the soil, and we'll work on the emissions on other issues.
This is Jason Wang as we create the Emerald Planet.
Saving for retirement might be easy for some folk, but for others, it might take a little more work. And for those who haven't started, there are still things you can do to catch up.
Oh, that is good news.
Like getting out from underneath past debt. And don't get wrapped up with high-interest credit cards.
Get you some eyes.
Be diversified with your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Your financial goals are not out of reach. The choice is clear. For a happy ending, choose to save.
Everyone with alcohol and drug addiction is in the same boat. With treatment, you can find solid ground. For drug and alcohol information and treatment referral for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Dude, are you sure you want this tattoo? Because just do it.
Some mistakes in life are permanent. Like hearing loss. To learn how to protect your hearing, visit asha.org.
You've probably heard about heart disease, but did you know that it's the #1 killer of women nationwide? Heart disease claims more lives each year than breast cancer, lung cancer, or strokes combined. But there are steps you can take to protect yourself against it. For more information on how you can prevent heart disease, contact your local American Heart Association or visit their website at www.americanheart.org.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet as we come to you on a week-to-week basis from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we're looking around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for the 1,000 best practices, technologies, services, products, and of course the new leaders that are coming on for the next generation. And we have 3 guests from China that are here with us. And also we actually have a very special production that we're going to be sharing with you by this young man sitting right beside me. This is Kelvin Zhang. We're going to be looking at a video. It's called Under the Mask. He's a digital artist, videographer, and photographer. And then we have Xingyu Wang. She is the Chief Legal Officer and also Assistant to the President. I can't leave that one out. International Fund for China's Environment. And a gentleman that we've just met, this is Chen Chao Xiao, and he is a student in environmental studies at the University of Florida. Mm-hmm. And thank you for the 3 of you being here. Awesome. And this is actually the new face that's coming to China as far as environmental quality and environmental leadership. And so we're really pleased to have you. And is the video ready that we can bring up? Okay, let's go ahead and bring this up. This is called Under the Mask. Yeah. And you'll see why we're actually showing this. Kelvin, that's eerie. Yeah. I want you to know that. But this is something that you as a young person in China actually has been raised with. And of course now we're starting to see improvements because of the work of your elders as far as it's going on, and also specifically as far as the International Fund for China's Environment, which is a real pioneer in this. Yeah. But why did you want to come up with this kind of video? What's the real message you want to get across, not only in China, but the U.S. and around the globe?
Yeah, actually, since I came here around 2 years ago in America, so with a comparison of the Chinese and the American environment, I found it's pretty seriously the environmental issue in China. So that's the reason I picked this topic to make my art. But you know, the environmental issue is a worldwide issue. So my art is not only reveal the Chinese environment problems, as well as in America and even the whole world. That's a way. Actually, I'm not only provide the film, I also make the photograph and the data visualization. So these three parts consist the whole group of my artwork to review the environmental issue.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
and this is something, my next time to China, we want to see this, and hopefully through IFCE we can arrange this, because this is a message that really needs to be shared.
Yeah.
And at the same time to allow, the students and, the young professionals in China, the United States, Europe, and other places around the globe to be able to share, through the various art mediums.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because then it becomes very concrete and very real. So thank you for sharing this under the mask. Xingyu, looking at your work, I know that you do legal work, also assistant to the president. Tell us a little bit about the International Fund for China's Environment, but not just about it. What attracted you as a young person, with a law degree, that you want to get involved with the environment?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sam. Right now, I am the Chief Legal Officer with International Fund for China's Environment, and I graduated from Renmin University of China, School of Law, and then Georgetown University Law Center with a concentration on international environmental law. So after graduation, I joined IFCE, and when I met Dr. He, and they said, we have a very good organization and we have a very good team, so I just joined. And then we organized many international forums between China and the US. And I guess for young professionals, it's a very good opportunity for us to join the organization, and we can meet a lot of great people, for example, high-level government officials and professors from universities, and also NGO leaders and entrepreneurs. So it's very inspiring and exciting. We can learn a lot from this work. So that's why I joined the IFCE.
Well, having multiple law degrees, it sounds like the polluters are going to be in big trouble.
Yes, of course.
If they mess with you. So this is a good thing, and you're young enough to stay at it. Chin-Chao, I know that you're at the University of Florida. We actually do work with the University of Florida on the agriculture side, as far as all natural food ingredients for plants, animals, and other things. But why did you go to the University of Florida, which is American land-grant university? So it's famous from that. But why did you come all the way from China to go to school in Florida?
Yeah, because with the development of China, there are lots of factories produce much pollutions, especially in air and water. So therefore, I think I eager to utilize my knowledge and the technologies that I learned to the environment protection to optimize it.
Yeah, you're in environmental engineering. So we know about engineering studies and all these other things. What is special about environmental engineering that will actually aid and help China as far as it moves towards 2050, but at the same time to address the issues of the United Nations COP21 agreement between China, the United States, and almost 200 nations around the globe?
I major in wastewater treatment. I think this is a big deal between these two countries. In China, this is a very important issues. And I also focus on the membrane in the wastewater treatment, the membrane to filter the water. And I think in the future, it will be more and more popular to use this technology.
Yeah, this is one of the things, Chin-Chao, is that almost 3.5 billion people around the globe do not have access to proper water treatment facilities and wastewater processing. So you are certainly in a promising field and will have much to do over your professional career. So hopefully you'll live, 200 or 300 years to be able to do all of this. But it's interesting to have this balance. You have someone that's in taking the arts, taking it to the next level. You have an attorney, and then you have engineering, of course. So looking at this, Kelvin, as far as what you're doing, how do you see this interaction with these other people, law, hard sciences, actually being able to collaborate and work with you in the visual arts that you want to create. How do you see that happening?
Yeah, as you know, I'm an artist. I'm not a scientist or the lawyer or the engineering. So as an artist, we have our special method to reveal our personal emotion, personal experience. So just like I came here, I found how seriously environment in China with comparison to Americans. So I think with art, I still can continue this topic, so let the people know aware of the importance to protecting the environmental issues. So both in America and China, even in the whole world. So as an artist, we can do some emotional things, we can do some humanitarian things to let people know this.
So you have the law, the hard sciences, but you still feel that you need to have that emotional connection so that people actually will go do something. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly. I want to let the people active to begin protect the environment, begin to know we face a serious environment in China, even in the whole world. So that's I think it kind of the artist can do. We should do that. Yeah.
Xingyu, looking at the law, people, oh my gosh, another lawyer. But at the same time, it's very important. But more and more, particularly in environmental law, you find the lawyers wanting to work in consensus with private business, with municipalities, national governments, and all that. We have to be quick because I want to, get back to last question over there. But how do you see this consensus playing out instead of just lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits?
Yes, to be brief, I guess law plays a very important role in everybody's life. But for environmental protection area, it's more important is people's behavior and people's consciousness. Coming back
to what Kelvin was saying.
Yes. So for legal persons, it's better to spread the idea that we have to know the law. We have to know how to use the law, and we have to know how to use the law to protect our people and protect our planet, to make the world a better place. So that's the idea of environmental protection.
So you really see the law as very important, can be the big stick, but it should be soft so people react the way they should. You're going to get the last question, I think. Looking at engineering, what do you see for the evolution and growth of engineering over the next 5, 10, 15 years? And you got about 30 seconds to do all that. So you got to be quick.
The evolution of engineering?
Engineering or environment.
I think the evolution will be very fast than we think. And the engineering is more and more important in the world in the next 5 and 10 years, especially in the environment field. So our government and companies and all the normal people should do their best in this field and to protect the environment.
Thank you for being with us as we're looking around the globe as we create the Emerald Planet and work together, China and the United States, to do this. Thank you.